Hey guys, I know we haven't talked about house hacking enough yet, but I wanted to go over why I think house hacking is always a great idea and it's always the right time to house hack. So real quick, for those not familiar, house hacking is buying a property and renting out the space that you're not using. So this could be as simple as you're buying a house and you're renting out the other rooms, or maybe you're buying a 2 to 4 unit property and you're renting out the other units. It can be that. You could even buy a condo or a townhome. I know we've helped a lot of people even house hack that way. Whatever you're doing, generally the goal is to buy a property and have other people cover the majority of the mortgage while you live there and have it be cash flow positive when you move out. So making money above the mortgage. And you can do that in any market, any geographical market. Of course, you can do that here in Austin. I do myself. You can do that at any time in the market. It's all about numbers. So the most important thing to do is look at, hey, what's my mortgage payment gonna be and what can I make off rent out of this place? It's typically not going to be, in the instance of a multifamily property, rented optimally right off the bat. So if you're buying a duplex and you're gonna rent out the other unit, maybe you're like me and you're buying a duplex where the 3-bedroom units are rented for $900. Where they should be renting for $1,800 to $2,000. There's going to be some problems there why they're not renting for $1,800 to $2,000. They probably need to be fixed up a little bit. Maybe the rent just needs to be raised. Maybe the tenants have been in there forever. But in almost every case, you're going to need to do a little bit of work to it. With a house, if you're renting out bedrooms, probably doing a little bit of remodel before you move in roommates. And it can be a great situation. You can have all your friends live with you. In the instance of a duplex, you could rent out the other unit to other parties, just a tenant that you don't know. You can also rent out rooms in your duplex and even make money to live in your own house. So that's what I did for my first house hack. I bought a duplex, rented out one unit to somebody I don't know, and I rented out rooms in my unit to friends, and I lived completely for free and made $400 a month. So that was in a hot market. I was told, you can't house hack right now. You can't buy rental properties. I've been doing it ever since. That was 2016. Talking to you here in 2021, living in a duplex right now in East Austin, 3-bed units each side. We're at the point now where we at least want one of the 3-bed units to ourselves. It's my girlfriend and I. We have a dog and 2 cats. So not a great roommate situation. But we pay $700 a month in 2021 to live 15 minutes from downtown Austin in a nicely remodeled unit. So it's absolutely still possible at any time, anywhere in the country, even here in Austin. So the biggest pieces of house hacking are that you're gonna reduce your living expenses. So you need to do those calculations before you buy the property. When you put an offer on the property, figure out what your mortgage is gonna be, figure out what your rents could be. If that's way cheaper than what you're paying now, that's goal number one. We obviously want house hack to live for cheaper than we're paying to rent. And in my case, I was paying $1,100 a month for rent when I first started house hacking. Of course, when I moved into the house hack, I was making $400 a month rent. So that was a $1,500 swing. Not only was I saving $1,100 per month, I was making another $400 a month. So I was making a ton of money to live for free, which is awesome. And you can absolutely do that too. So that's goal number one, is reduce your living expenses considerably. Most people spend around 30% of their income on their living expenses, some people a lot more. If you can reduce that to next to nothing or a few $100s a month, that's awesome. That's all money you can save and do whatever you want with. Your next goal, typically for most people, is for it to be cash flow positive when you move out. So a lot of people that I help house hack want to turn this into a rental property further down the road. It's totally okay if you don't want to do that. There's no rule book saying you can only buy a house hack if you're going to make it a rental when you move out. You could buy a house hack, improve it quite a bit, live in it for 2 years, sell it, and make all that money tax-free. So there's a tax exemption when you live in a property for 2 years. When you occupy the property personally for 2 years, you can fix it up. If you made $200,000 off this, you'd pay no taxes on that. For a single person, that's up to 250,000. For married couples, it's up to 500,000. No taxes if you've lived in a property for 2 years. So you might buy a single family house, improve it a lot, sell it 2 years later, make a big chunk of change. I am not an accountant, but it's my experience that with a duplex, those rules are slightly different. So check with your accountant. I was told I could only exempt the half that I lived in, but again, not an accountant. So live cheap, make money when you move out in a lot of different ways. You either sell or you keep renting and you hold on to that property long term. So there are so many options. House hacking is for everyone. There's not one reason you're doing it. You're not just learning to be a landlord, although a lot of people do that. Maybe you want some more flexibility with your job. If you're not paying to live, you can start a business, you can travel more, you can do whatever you want. So house hacking is for people that want more control over their lives and want to reduce their expenses so they can have more control over their lives or make more money. Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon.